Recently, several members of the Vlog Squad have come out to say that David Dobrik is done with the vlogs. He's over YouTube and just isn't in the headspace to post on there anymore. A place that he was once idolized on has become a place where he's been facing mass criticism. Some of the vlog members do still hang out, not all of them or as regularly as they used to, but sometimes they're all together. Jason, though, has been pretty absent from the group, but he's come out to recently say that he's just been working on projects of his own, and he's trying to grow his individual career, and honestly, who can blame him when he's got 2 kids and needs to make sure he's providing for his family? As much hate as Jason has gotten over the years for sticking by David and hanging out with the younger group, he's done a lot in his life to try and find success, and I think when he found David and David said, hey, like, I can get you this money, like we can build you a career, and Jason started to see that success with hanging out with David, he knew in that moment that he would do anything to keep up this life, not only for himself but for his kids. And I can see how he would be willing to do literally anything in these videos to make this money to keep his kids going to a nice school and getting them nice things and, you know, buying a house. But now that the days with David seem to be faded away, he talked about his life, career, and state of the Vlog Squad and their relationship with David on an episode of the Dropouts podcast, and I found some things pretty interesting. Jason talked about the backlash that he's gotten over the years for riding so hard for David and explained how he views his role in the vlogs.
And he was like, oh, how much do you need to make a month to live? And I was like, 5,000. I need $5,000 a month. And he like took a second. He's like, that's easy. He's like, I can do that. He's like, you can do that. And I was like, no way. And so then I just did it, and it took me like 3 months, and then I did it. I made $5,000 a month. So it is kind of strange. You're like, oh, it's just because I'm working with him, but I did, you know, try my best, and I thought I did bring a lot to the table too, because I had like 20 years of jokes that didn't ever go anywhere, were never used.
Yeah,
I had notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of stuff.
I mean, I do agree he was basically a cast member of a show. Like, the videos would not be the same without Jason and a lot of members of the Vlog Squad. I do think it's true that as much as the Vlog Squad members needed David, he needed them just as much to make those videos and have those videos blow up. He wasn't doing anything close to what his friends were doing in the videos.
Oh my goodness. How was it?
They did all the stunts. They were the ones that were drinking and acting out. He rarely ever did things on camera aside from give people cars and money. You know, the only other thing that was like so crazy that he did that I can really remember is that he got married to Jason's mom. But anything that was ever embarrassing or dangerous, his friends were doing them and he was filming them, and he was cracking up and reeling in their discomfort, reeling in their pain, and loving that they were embarrassed. His friends did the funny stuff. So yes, his friends were the reason why his career was so successful. And so I think the conversation of a lot of people thinking, oh my gosh, like everybody owes everything to David. I mean, I think they all equally owe everything to each other. Like, they all worked hard for David's vlogs. And it wasn't like David could go out and get a new group of friends. Maybe he could, but he needed people is the thing. He needed people to be in those videos. He himself was rarely ever on camera, honestly. It was a team effort to get the vlogs to be so massive. Now, towards the end of the podcast, they start to get into what is currently going on between David and Jason. They wanted Jason to express his feelings about how things have transpired with the Vlog Squad, from the drama to the impact it had on everyone's careers, because everything that went down in the last couple years between David getting called out for his actions and situations he's put people in for vlogs to what happened to Jeff, the Vlog Squad is not the same, and it truly is just no longer. Some of the people still hang out, like I said, but not really. And everyone's individual channels and social medias surely have shifted because of the fact that David isn't posting vlogs. So people either had to step up and focus on their own content or completely start fresh, which is kind of what Jason is doing, because he is one of the few Vlog Squad members who did not really have anything besides content with David. Everyone kind of had a partner in crime, another Vlog Squad member that they were making content with, whether it was videos or if it was a podcast. Todd has a podcast that he does with other people. Heath and Zane have a podcast that they do with each other, Matt King and Mariah. Carly and Aaron have a channel and a podcast. Natalie works for David, but she started making a name for herself over the last couple years, doing brand deals of her own, making a name for herself, modeling. Everyone has worked hard to do their own thing. And Jason was doing a podcast with David. Everything that he was doing was with David. David was his Vlog Squad partner in crime. So because he was so intertwined and reliant on him, when things hit the fan for David, they hit the fan for Jason as well. And yes, he has his own channel that he made content on, but it wasn't anything people were running to like before when David was vlogging. It was like people watched David's vlogs, right? And then they would go to Jason's channel for the behind the scenes stuff. But without David's vlogs, people weren't paying too much attention to Jason's. And now with the lawsuit between David and Jeff, people think that David has given up YouTube because of that. And he never made an official statement about leaving the vlogs behind, but several Vlog Squad members have said that David is done with the vlogs and they are over. He is only posting on other forms of social media like TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram as of these days. So that left Jason without a partner to podcast with, and on this podcast, he opened up about how he was feeling about all these changes. He said he has always been aware that there was going to be an ending, but to think that it would have transpired like this, just not something that he ever thought would happen. This has been so shocking for so many people, and David was once like the golden star of YouTube. He was this nice guy that everybody thought was just so amazing. To think that this is his reputation now is so unfortunate. Like, I never would have seen it coming. There was definitely a point in time where he was this unproblematic person and nobody saw a problem with his content, and then all of a sudden all these things started coming out.
I knew it would all come to an end at some point, and
Yeah.
I just didn't think it would come so in such a big way.
Yeah.
Jason says that he would have continued making content with David, and he still would, and he still wants to, but David is done making content. At least, like, he seems to be very much done with it right now.
He had done it all.
Yeah.
He really had. He had done it all, and it was just like, okay. And he tried for a while, and his new style was great. It was awesome, and I was willing to keep going with him to keep making. But he just stopped.
Yeah.
And we stopped the podcast, and
Yeah, I was wondering, I hadn't
Yeah.
seen anything
views?
recently. I was wondering why you stopped the podcast.
we just done it for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And he does mention that they might bring the podcast together back, but it's unclear if they really truly will. And now Jason has his own podcast, so I don't think he's too pressed on doing something with David if David doesn't want to do it. And he talks a lot about how in order to do a show, both people have to want to do it. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to be good. It's not going to work.
And then, but we might bring it back. We had a meeting the other day about bringing it back, and it's got to be on both sides. Like, you got to want to do it. Like, you come here and you come here and you come here and you like love it, right?
Yeah.
And you like want to do it, and you just have to want to do it.
I think because Jason brings up this vision that David had, but because of David's cancellation and his podcast not panning out the way that he thought it was going to, I think he lost a lot of dreaming, and I think he lost a lot of hope for what that podcast was going to be. He definitely wanted it to be this next big thing because he had this vision to make their podcast a late night show or a talk show kind of vibe. And when it didn't happen, I think his passion for the podcast faded away. If you guys remember when the Casey Neistat documentary premiered at South by Southwest, I know a lot of people didn't get to see it because you could only watch it if you attended South by Southwest or you bought an online pass. But I made a video talking about everything that happened in the movie, so I don't know if you guys remember, but in the film, he talks about how David had this dream to do a late night type of show, and he wanted to redesign a late night show, and he pitched it to Netflix, and they ended up passing on it. They didn't think, anybody in social media could really do something like that it wasn't he wasn't mainstream enough, essentially. They didn't think that it was going to work. And I think when Netflix said no, he thought, I will make what I want my Netflix show to be my podcast. So he built this entire set in his new house for the Views podcast, and then he got canceled. And so after that, he couldn't really have a lot of guests on because not a lot of people were going to want to associate with a YouTuber that was getting canceled and called out for a lot of stuff. So I think that's where his passion for everything was just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, that was what we were trying to do with the new set and stuff, was to make him like the focus of the podcast, and I would be like the Andy Richter.
Yeah.
Which was great for me. Like I really wanted to do that. You know, I believed in him, and I still believe in him. I still think he's the funniest out of all of us. He's just he has that, like the same thing that Jimmy Kimmel has. It's kind of a winning, you know, David thing. But he's just not. I don't know. He's just not doing it right now. But that's not to say he won't do it
ever. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like so young. He's only 25.
And as of right now, I think the only project that he's working on is that pizza restaurant that he has yet to open, but says is coming soon. So I definitely want to know what you guys think about all this. Do you think that David will come back for the podcast? How do you feel about everybody branching out? The Vlog Squad just, you know, I don't know. I think the most interesting thing to me is that David never said, I am quitting, I'm leaving. He just kind of left. So a lot of people are really confused still as to what the heck happened. Is it the lawsuit? Will he come back after everything is all settled? Jason is clearly, you know, still standing with David, still calling him his best friend. So there isn't any bad blood. That isn't the reason why the podcast is over. And it is very clear that he is saying that David just isn't as driven as he once was. He doesn't really have an interest in doing the same things that he was. He's tired, he's burnt out. And I think that's a reflection on things that he's been called out for and him doing it for a very long time. But now we have a little bit more of a picture of why he's not posting. And who knows if Jason is just saying that because he can't really say it's because of the Jeff lawsuit, because nobody from the Vlog Squad has yet to mention that. Only Jeff has spoken out about that. So clearly this whole situation with the Vlog Squad is a mess. I mean, it's kind of sad, honestly, when you think about how it used to be so popular and everything that's come out, everything that's happened, how everything has unfolded. Yikes. But let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.